So I'm in the middle of braiding my hair, so I will not be on camera. So, as you already know, unless you've been living under a rock, everyone's kind of up in arms with this news of the self-proclaimed billionaire business mogul Donald J. Trump pays $750 in taxes. For me, there's a little bit more that is problematic here, so let's unpack it right here. Unless you've been living under a tree and you really haven't been following the news this week, it has been reported, the New York Times, is it the New York Times or the Washington Post? One of those have obtained copies of Donald Trump's tax returns, and it's been reported that he only paid $750 in taxes. Now, there are three reasons for me that this is problematic. I think that a lot of people are hanging their hat on the 750, that dollar amount and all of that, and then you have his diehard supporters that see absolutely nothing wrong with any of this, and they actually agree with him that he is smart for doing so. Now, let's rewind a little bit. Hillary Clinton is getting sort of a hero's welcome in a sense, because back in 2016, when she was debating Donald Trump, she let the people know that there is probably a reason why he is not wanting his tax returns to be released. And she specifically said he's probably not paying taxes and he probably has a mountain hill of debt. And here we are 4 years later, 2020, and that is what is coming out. And here we are. So let's unpack this 750, what it means to me, what it should mean to those of us in America, and what it means to those of us that have concern for America's securities. The issue here is not necessarily that he's writing off the things that he's writing off. That's what you do as a business person. Well, that may be true. Business people, absolutely, I did it. You write off things. But I think that you also have to be honest and you have to be able to justify the things that you're writing off. For an example, he written off a $70,000 haircut when he was on The Apprentice. And, you know, some people will say, okay, that's what we pay for haircuts. I don't know. I beg to differ that this is just something that is just inflated to be able to just write it off. And yes, business people do that all the time. But when you're looking at things like the cost of meals and personal meals versus official business meals, absolutely, you write those things off. You can write off your wardrobe. You can write off your home office credit. Like, I completely get that. And I'm not really going after him for that. You got to justify the $70,000 haircut and Ivanka's personal hairstylist, which is in the triple digits. Like, come on. Come on, is this over a course of several years you're saying this? Or you're saying per haircut, this is what's happening? Or over the whole year, it cost you $70,000? Like, the second thing that's problematic is not necessarily, again, you want to sink your teeth in the 750. I completely get it. But someone who's not in that tax bracket, I would like to hear from more billionaires in a sense of, if this is what you're looking at, I would like to submit that other billionaires, yes, they write off all kinds of things, but I think they're also paying taxes. And I don't necessarily think the fact that Trump is not paying taxes, he's writing off these things, I don't think that makes him a smart businessman, because it brings me to my point number two. As we are delving into these tax returns, we're also getting confirmed, because I've heard this news before, that he is in a mountain, just like a load of debt. And I'm talking in the hundreds of millions. It's almost time for him to pay up, basically. And as someone that was running in the election in 2016, knowing this amount of debt that he was in and knowing when it was up to be soon to be due, it's kind of concerning when you know the process of obtaining a top secret clearance. It's mind-boggling to me that American citizens who are going after various jobs that require these top clearances cannot get these clearances because they are in a mountain of debt as the president. So then it raises the question, how was he able to obtain the top secret clearance with this amount of debt? Because what happens is, why is this significant? What happens is, if you get the top clearance and you have access to all type of secrets, you have all access to all type of really, really sensitive information, you then run a risk for some sort of buy off from foreign and domestic terrorists. So for an example, I hear that you owe hundreds of thousands in debt to whoever you owe it to. Here's the thing, I'll pay this off for you, but I need you to give me this secret code for XYZ. I need you to give me access to the elections. I need you to give me a land, a property, or whatever. So that puts him in a position for that, and there's safeguards for that, which is you don't get the top clearance. So it's just very interesting that he has this amount of debt that he has, and he was able to get the top clearance. Again, a lot of people are sinking their teeth into this $750. I say don't do it. Don't sink your teeth into that, because to me, there's greater fish to fry. Yes, we can argue that he should have paid more. Yes, we can argue, how is he saying we're going to fund this, fund that, and everything else, and he's not even trying to pay taxes? Then on the flip side of that is, who wants to pay taxes? Like, as a business person, absolutely, you want to write off as much as you can to reduce that tax bill. But you have to make sure that it's legitimate. You have to make sure that nothing is inflated. And then leads me to my next point. You have to make sure that it's legal. So now he's really been, this situation kind of opens the door, because as people are looking at what he itemized, one of the things that he itemized was a payment to Ivanka Trump, his daughter. His daughter is an employee of the Trump Foundation. Okay, we know that this presidency has nepotism running all through it. Can your children be a part of your foundation? And absolutely. So there's nothing really shady there. She's on the Trump Foundation, but what he does after that is he pays her for that position, but then he turns around and it is seen on his tax records that he is writing off a triple-digit payment to her, and he labeled it a consultant. That's where we have a problem. You cannot pay an employee for consultation. So again, I get the business aspect of writing things off in deductions, but you have to make sure that it is legal to do so. And Trump is getting a lot of press because a lot of people that have knowledge of these incidents know the question remains, how is he able to do that? So again, a lot of people are really sinking their teeth into this $750, and I understand that, but I think there's a bigger picture here that we need to tackle. Like I said, the top secret thing, especially being a military wife, is just really interesting to me that he would have this amount of debt. So it leads me to my final point. The other concern is he's either committing tax evasion, or allegedly he's lying on these loan applications. What loan applications are we talking about? So here's the thing. Again, here he is. He's touting himself as this great business mogul, and he's just great at business. But he has bankruptcies and failed properties up the yin yang. Again, people say that's a part of business. That's fine. But the problem that I have is, what we're finding out is that he is basically allegedly living off credit. Like, he is the credit shark. Like, he has so much credit. Now, in order to get credit for these businesses and land and property and towers and all this stuff, you have to prove that you have the income and the ability to pay these things off. The problem is, if you're reporting all these losses on your tax return, what are you telling the people that are loaning you the money? Because I don't care whether it's applying for a house, applying for a car, I don't care what it is. You have to prove, I am going to be able to pay this off. So it's being suggested that perhaps we also have some fraudulent loan practices where his loan applications do not line up with his tax returns. That is also a problem. We are on the heels of the 2020 election. Trump is pounding the pavement for his second term. Joe is going after him for his first term. And we have this tax thing coming up. A lot of people say that it was strategic. I don't care. I'm just glad that the information is being validated and it came out. I don't understand. He was so adamant about a lot of things. If you follow his tweet, there's a tweet for everything. And if this was a different president, and I'm not even getting on the Obama train, if this was any other president, he would have and has had so much to say. As adamant as he is about birtherism and all this other stuff, why doesn't he release the tax returns? Why did it take a leak of the tax returns? And I feel like this story is going to take legs. There's so much more that's going to come out of this. And you as a supporter, you as an undecided voter, you as someone that already decided you're not going to vote for him, what do you feel about this? Leave a comment down below if this is a non-issue for you. For me, I get the business practice of it all. Like the 750, I'm not sinking my teeth into that too much, but in the sense of it being $750. Now, I have a problem with the deductions that we're reading about. Like, absolutely have a problem with them. I think they're inflated, like a $70,000 haircut. But again, the business laws in America has set it up for people who own businesses and millionaires and billionaires to do this because that's our tax laws. So, America needs a tax reform because ultimately, honestly, with some auditing, I'm not talking about the conflicting and everything. There might not be, unfortunately, there might not be any illegal activity that has happened here. And that's the truth of the matter because our tax laws are made to protect the rich. So, with that being said, let's continue to be on the lookout. Let's see what else comes out of this. And if you're annoyed by our tax laws, write your senators, write your senators, let them know, hey, we need to kind of look at this. And like I said, I'll be looking out for new stories concerning this because I already know. Like, I already know there's going to be more to this. Absolutely. Do I question the timing of it? I don't know. It is what it is. I don't care about the timing. It is what it is. And let's just see how this unfolds. As always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.